Good afternoon. It's Lindsay. It's July 12th, 2024, and I am just gonna talk a little bit. I'm doing a video today here as I'm walking. I want to talk about what happened this morning, which was more of my gang stalking, uh, government-sponsored, targeted individual bullshit. Ugh, pardon my language, but it's obvious whenever this is going on. Okay, and here's how I know. Here's what happened. Let me talk about what happened, which was so orchestrated and set up. Okay, I'm at the cemetery, by the way. It's kind of a nice day. It's rainy, a little bit rainy. It's hot, but it was raining a little bit, and so I'm like, well, it's a good day to go for a little stroll in the graveyard. I used to do this before. So here I am at the cemetery. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is that, okay, I was at the gym, right? And first of all, on my way to the gym this morning, the one on Highway 78, and this is what they're doing is they're retaliating. They're angry because I didn't do a review or because I made that comment about, if you want me to do a review, then you're going to have to pay me, and I was doing it kind of halfway jokingly, but at the same time not, because of all the fucking the surveillance that I'm under, and the people that they send to do their agent provocateur vigilante stalking and what have you, right? Okay, so I'm gonna sit down for a second while I do. Well, no, I guess I'll keep walking. My battery's gonna die. Shit, damn it, I don't have much battery left. So I'm on my way to the gym this morning. First of all, as I'm going down, as I'm exiting off the freeway and going down, uh, here's a interesting grave, by the way. Smythe, born 1839, J.H. Smythe. Anyway, I'm gonna sit down here at Mary's funeral. Sitting at Mary Smythe's casket grave. So I'm going to the gym this morning, right? And I had exited off of Foster Road. I'm going down Foster Road. And as I'm going down Foster Road, there's this, and I'm coming up to a street called Sierra Sunset, right? As I'm heading uh, west on Foster Road okay. And then there's this girl, of course, I see this woman running towards me as I'm at a stoplight coming that direction, she's heading east on Foster Road, and then I'm at the stoplight, and I notice this woman. She's got all these tattoos on her leg, and she's jogging outside with sunglasses. And then she turns onto Sierra Boulevard, turns left on, yeah, I guess it would be her left on Sierra Sunset Boulevard as I'm going down Foster Road. And I noticed that. I was like, that looked kind of strange because she was like, it was almost like it was a skit, an act. I see a lot of weird street theater shit. So then I go to the gym. I'm thinking to myself, okay. And of course, in my car, in the trunk of my, oh, I'm getting attacked by bugs. I have this thing in my car that I'm gonna take to fucking Social Security, as well as a fucking something else that I need to take to the post office, right? So they do all this shit according to, like, coordinated with what's in your car and what you did the day before and all this government surveillance crap. And trust you me, when you're a targeted individual, you know that it's all how this stuff manifests, because it's not a coincidence what happens to you. You know that half these things that happen are very much scripted and coordinated and whatnot. It's really obvious. It becomes very, they're little skits and shit. It becomes very transparent. You just know it because you can feel it, you can sense it, and you know that this is all, a lot of it is all done to get your attention. It's called street theater. For those of you that don't know what this gang stalking shit, pardon my language, but this gang stalking, vigilante stalking, government harassment stuff's about. So, anyway, I see that, and then I get to the gym, right? I get to the gym, And of course, the people don't like me there. Most people don't like me, and I don't really give a shit. I talk to a few people, and honestly, I don't really give a fuck what they think about me because I'm not there to. I just do my own thing and whatever. But there's a woman who I do talk to sometimes, and who I've spoken with a few times. This black woman, kind of lighter skinned, African American woman who I like, who I talk to, and is nice to me, and I'm nice to her, and I like her for whatever reason. I mean, I don't, I just like her. She's a nice lady, and she seems real smart. She's a pretty black woman, and I like her. I just feel comfortable talking to her. I don't know who she really is or who she might work for, but nonetheless, you like people or you don't, and I like her for whatever reason. And I do remember she told me that she was in the had been in the military on a dare or something like that a long time ago, and she's from Chicago. She's a very well spoken, intelligent, pretty woman. And I just get a good vibe from her. You know, you get good vibes or bad vibes from people. So I consider her to be an acquaintance, as well as I have a few other women there. There's others who hate me, and whatever, who cares? I get over it and I move on, right? There's always going to be people who don't like you, and there's always going to be people who do like you. This is just part of life. This is part of what, especially when you're targeted individual, you're going to have a lot of haters. So, anyway, it's kind of funny because she asked me as I'm going to the bathroom, I go into the restroom when I first get there or whatever, and she sees me while I'm walking and she's walking out. She said something like, I had my headphones on, so I had to remove my headphones so I could talk to her. She said something like, "So are you here every day?" I said, "Yeah, pretty much every day, you know, whether it's closed or something, or something comes up, I'm here." And she says, "How long?" I said, "Several hours." And she said, "That's good. Keep it up." I said, "Thank you. I will. I've been doing this for a long, long time." And I said, "It's my medicine. You know, this is my medicine, is going to the gym." And I think they know that I like those treadmills. It's pretty obvious. But anyway, there's also, I noticed, a maintenance guy at the gym today. This maintenance guy who was fixing an elliptical machine right behind the treadmill that I was on. And he was covered in tattoos and had long hair and a beard. And I'm like, cool, you know, good. I'm glad that they have diversity there. In my opinion, if a person has tattoos or whatever, if you want to express yourself with tattoos, with you know, whatever, who cares? If you're not offending anybody and being mean to people, I couldn't care less about people's body art. I find it quite interesting myself anyway, things like this, and I always have, and that's just kind of artist in me. So I'm all about people expressing themselves. What I don't like is when people are mean and and they behave ill-mannered, and they dress like, you know, really provocatively when they're trying to get attention. That's my only pet peeve, is when they're being real, you know, kind of weird behavior, and they dress like, you know, real skimpy clothes, almost like, you know, and it's like, well, this is a gym, it's not a tit bar, or, you know what I mean, or that kind of club. So whatever, but to each his own. If they want to do that, they're still experimenting. They probably don't have a lot of they don't know much yet about life, or they are looking for attention. Usually when women dress in that kind of manner at a gym like that, like very provocatively and almost no clothes, it means that they're desperate for male attention, or they're trying to compete with women. A lot of times they do that because they're actually trying to get attention from women, believe it or not. But whatever, to each his own. I don't really care. I just see it for what it is, but it can be really aggravating when they're trying hard to get my attention and reaction, and when I ignore them, it makes them upset. But so back to what I was saying. So anyway, I had the little chit chat with my acquaintance at the Janet at the gym. Her name's Janet, really cool lady. Okay, so there's some other interesting women there. Black, whatever. I don't care if they're black, Hispanic. I don't give a shit what race or color you are, or religion, or anything like that. It's about who you are as a person. I couldn't care less about your skin color or anything like that. It's about if you have morals and how you treat people. That's what I pay attention to. And are you able to have a conversation and make eye contact? And if you seem legit, if you seem like a real person, that's how I determine whether or not I want to communicate with somebody or not. It's about how they how they communicate. Do they have effective communication skills? Can they look you in the eye? Things like this. That's what I care about. And it's like if they're kind enough to ask you how are you doing, and that shows me that these people are that just you get that those are people who I like to be around. People who actually have a concern for others, and they actually are curious about you, and that's always a good thing because you see these people every day at the gym or almost every day. You know what I mean? Especially since I'm there almost every day, or yeah, pretty much every day. So it's like, why would I want to make enemies? The way I see it is, I've already had enough issues over the years at the gyms, at Gold's Gym, especially. I've had my share of problems with mostly women, not men, but women. I've had some stalker men, but women too. But I've had enough experience with these kinds of situations where I try to watch my behavior as well. I try to be careful about what I say and who I talk to, because I respect people's when it comes to your body. Women especially, a lot of us are very more sensitive about our bodies, and we don't like, nobody likes to be bullied or made fun of, especially if you're at a gym putting effort into doing something that most people don't want to have to do. It's not, sometimes it's extremely demanding and you have to really push yourself, but hey, I like it. I love to push myself like that on that fucking treadmill or whatever. I get a lot out of it, and it's just what I like to do. And people might look at me like I'm crazy, but I enjoy it. It's something that most people won't understand until you've maybe done it yourself, and it's my addiction. It's my medicine. It is an addiction, but it's a good addiction the way I see it. I'm not there to hurt anybody. I'm not there to make enemies. I'm just there to do what I like to do, which I've been doing for many, many years, gym stuff, and that, so whatever. But what happened was kind of funny because all of a sudden, seemed like a skit. This seemed very coordinated. If you ask me, it seemed very orchestrated, synchronized, because all of a sudden, the maintenance dude is there working on the elliptical machine right behind me on the treadmill, and he's kind of smiling. I notice he has a bit of a mischievous look on his face, and he's kind of looking at me and grinning, and I just smiled at him just to be friendly. I don't know these people very well. I don't know any of these people at all, hardly. I know the staff. I don't know any of the staff very well. I just know them by name, and they seem okay. I don't have a problem with the staff there. I don't have a problem with anybody, quite honestly. Nobody, you know what I mean? I don't. I don't think the janitor likes me, and that's okay. I don't really get whatever she's been kind of slamming doors and acting out, and I guess I don't take it personally. It's like whatever the fuck is going on with her, that's her thing. I'm not going to get involved, but she seems angry or upset about something, and I quite honestly I don't know what it is, but I'm not going to. I have never done anything to her. I've done nothing but given her very good reviews and praised her work. So, whatever. If she doesn't like me, or well, not a big deal. I'm not going to take it personally. I, who gives a shit? But nonetheless, so she's in there. Seems like she's in a really bad mood today for whatever reason. Maybe she's overworked. Maybe she doesn't like the job. Who knows? I don't know. But she seemed like she was pissed off. I could see it in her face. She looked angry. And look, I go there and I try to leave all that stuff behind. If I'm angry or in a bad mood, God knows I'm trying to leave that stuff at home, because I go to the gym to feel better and to work on myself. It's part of my healing. It's part of working on yourself. That's my work. And so I'm not there to take a bunch of baggage with me and take it out on people I don't know. Or I'm there, I leave all that shit behind when I leave the door. I don't want to take that with me to the gym. I might talk in my car and get it all out, my anger, if I have anything going on that I'm upset about, but I don't want to bring it with me inside the gym of all places. No, thank you. That's not what I want to do. So, there's a lot of people. It's sometimes I feel like I'm in a mental hospital. These gyms, people go there with all kinds of problems, with mental issues or psychological issues, and issues with this and that, and they take it with, oh, that's an interesting statue. It's I've seen it before. Um, I used to come here a lot actually and walk around the cemetery. But today's a good day because it's kind of rainy. And so or it has been raining a little bit, so it's nice for a little walk. But I'm just kind of walking in circles. I had to get out. I had to get out some exercise because what happened? Let me get back to what happened. I'm sorry. I keep on jumping from topic to so at the gym all of a sudden the lights go out. There's several people on the treadmill. There's Janet's on one of the treadmills. This other man who I don't know. He looks like an elderly man who looks like he's whatever. He's always you see him there sometimes. There's a few other people who I recognize. Whatever. Several of us are on the treadmills, and all of a sudden the fucking lights go out. Just everything fucking. The lights go out. The machines stop, and the place is just dark in the gym. Light. You see, here. Let me talk about this. Is the this whole thing about light and dark. And this morning, by the way, or last night, I was listening to The Curse of Canaan by Eustace Mullins. I was listening to an audiobook about The Curse of Canaan by Eustace Mullins. It's a book, and I was listening to it on audiobook because it's very fascinating, these kinds of things in history, and it talks about Noah's Ark and about the curse of how Canaan and this kind of stuff. And it's like, I don't look, I don't know much about the Bible. I don't know all these things, but I'm learning stuff day by day, little things about the Bible and stuff about religious stuff and Christianity that I never knew growing up. But I'm not saying it's just interesting when you hear people talk about this kind of stuff. It's kind of hidden knowledge or whatever. But I don't know what I was listening to all that, and I was like, oh my god, this is just crazy. The stuff about the curse of Canaan and Noah's Ark and all that. And I was like, this is interesting, right? And I was listening to that last night before I went to bed on my computer and on BitChute.com. I just, if you type in Eustace Mullins, fuck my fucking hair. If you type in Eustace Mullins, by the way, do a name search, he has a lot of interesting literature out there and books, and he's very knowledgeable. So anyway, I like to listen to him and people of this nature because they are very knowledgeable. So anyhow, so I was thinking about that. I was like, well, that's kind of weird. I don't know. That popped in my mind. And then loose, I just kept thinking about the word loose and loosey, loose and light. And as you know, Lucifer just means light, bringer of light. The name Lucifer or Lucy, it derives from, just means the bringer of light. And I kept thinking about that for whatever reason, because a lot of people have the conception that Lucifer or loose, anything with that loosey, that is bad. And actually it's not really. It's actually not. If you really look into it and research more about the word Lucifer and Lucy and loose, it's not what people think. So anyway, with that being said, and then I did speak to my mother the other day briefly. We don't really talk much, but she did mention that somebody by the name who I know, a family member, actually, I have a niece who, her name is Lucy. And I think today is she mentioned that today is her birthday. She's like turning 13 or 14 or something. So that my mother brought that to my attention. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. So she's turning her birthday's today, and her name's Lucy. 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 Anyway, but so back to what I'm saying. So all the fucking lights go out at the gym. All the fucking lights go out. Everybody's like, oh shit. So I'm like, fuck. I was right in the middle of my workout. I'd only had like not even an hour on there. But whatever. Like I had done a very intensive exercise workout anyhow. But I like to spend like at least 2 hours on that fucking thing because it's my life force. And so then the fucking lights go out, and the little dude, this little guy, his name is Aaron. He's a nice guy, little dude, Aaron, I think Hernandez. I've noticed on his name tag he works there. He's a cool guy. Anyway, he comes up to the machine, he's kind of giggling. He's like, well, everybody has to go. Something like, and it's like, okay. I'm like, okay. So first I was like, shit. I didn't even bother to ask what happened, but I was like, so and then I had to go pee. I was like, well, I'm gonna go pee before I leave. So I went to the locker room, and then the janitor was in there. She was slamming the door. She was really pissed off. Probably she was angry about something. Like, oh, holy shit, don't, whatever the fuck, don't pick me up, lady. Hey, Alicia, it's not my problem, Alicia. Her name's Alicia. Anyway, so that happened. I'm like, fuck, this is like set. It seemed like it was all fucking orchestrated, right? It seemed like it was all staged. It was just bizarre. So I get in my car, I drive home. I'm thinking, fuck, I wanted to go to the gym. I really was wanted to finish my workout. So I didn't get to finish it, but then it started. It's like, well, I'll just go home and take it easy, give my body a little bit of rest anyway. And then, so that's all that happened. That was interesting. But like I'm saying, I knew this morning going to the gym, I already kind of knew in the back of my mind, in my head, that something was going to happen, that some sort of weird event was going to happen today. And sure enough, the fucking electricity went out, the lights went out, and I was like, I kept thinking in my mind, Lucifer, lights, Lucy. I just kept seeing all these connections for whatever reason, but that's just how my fucking brain, my schizophrenic mind works, right? My schizo nutcase mind where I'm all over the place, you know? And it just so happened, yeah, it's just like weird shit in my life all the time that happens around me. Shit blows up, machines break, people get in fights, people want to get my attention, or they give me dirty looks. It's kind of crap, you know? And it's like, what the fuck? This is on a daily basis wherever I go out in public. It's not as bad. Sometimes it's really bad or more intense than other times. But nonetheless, that happened. I just had to document that because I thought that was all a little bit strange. That all the fucking lights just all of a sudden go out. But I walk out the door and it's like everything else is on. The electricity everywhere else is on. Okay. Strange.